Hello and welcome to Drive Facebook Live. I'm Tony Whistler, and that's Dan Vasquez. Hey, Dan, how's it going?
Tony, it's going so awesome. I'm so happy to be here today. It's good to see everyone.
Beautiful. Today on the show, we have Drive client and workshop instructor Dennis Goodhue, and we have Drive master coach and a great instructor at Drive from the past. And he also runs one of our major divisions now, Erkan Oz. How's it going, Erkan?
All well, good to be here.
That's wonderful to see you guys. So you guys are going to be talking with us today about the Expo 2026 and specifically a presentation that you'll be doing called How to Survive a Tech Shortage. Is that correct?
That's right.
Very cool. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just let you guys talk a little bit about to everybody. Just give us a little bit of a bio, a little bit about yourselves. Let's start with Dennis. Dennis, just tell us a little bit about you and your shop and what you do at Drive.
Yeah, I started with Drive in 2008, and they have pushed me all the way through to get to where I am today. We run an automotive shop in Western Colorado, Montrose, Colorado, named Diamond G Repair. And with Drive, I've started doing some instruction, trying to help give back to people.
Sweet. That's great. And you're a great instructor, and I love having you on the team. And now over to you, Erkan.
I'm Erkan. I've been working at Drive for about 10 years now almost, and I had different roles, coaching, instructing, sort of like leading the coaching team, and now I'm the leader for the shop business analysis, SBA sales team, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm loving it.
That's awesome. And you know, you were a great instructor, buddy. I just want everyone to know that you were good. You were both you and Dennis are great instructors. And that's why it's going to be so much fun to have you guys instructing this presentation, this 1 hour presentation that you guys will be delivering at the expo. So who would like to chime in a little bit about this presentation? We'd like to give the people a little bit of information about what the presentation is going to cover and what it's going to do to help benefit them in their shop.
I'll start, and then Dennis can, chime in. So this is a very crucial topic. In fact, in my role right now here at Drive, I talk with shop owners all day, every day, myself and my team. Mm-hmm. And we do something called a shop business analysis. Internally, we call it SBA because it's so much easier. But what it is actually sort of like in terms of the shop owner vocabulary, you can think of what we're doing in my team as sort of attaching a scanner to a vehicle and getting codes, right? And mm-hmm. Based on those codes, you have some recommendations and you understand what the issue is, or at least you hope to, right? And our analysis is exactly the same thing, except we actually attach the scanner to the business, and then we get codes. And based on that, we have an idea about where the shop is, where the shop owner wants to be, and how to bridge the gap. So, and in many of these conversations, almost all of them, I would say, not having good quality text is a major hurdle for almost everyone. Mm-hmm. At least, even if it's not the case, really, that's what they think it is. So there is sort of like this whole phenomena about this whole tech shortage, and it's a big concept that needs to be discussed at length, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about at the expo, what it is, why it happens, how to sort of like remedy it or deal with it. And don't get me wrong, I do think there is a tech shortage. It's challenging to find good text, so I don't want to minimize that. That's absolutely a fact. But there are ways to go about it, to be better prepared, and to sort of like mitigate that issue is what we're going to be talking about at that meeting.
Beautiful. And one of the things I love about that is Dennis obviously is a shop owner, and he's had to struggle with these things, or maybe not struggle with them, depending on, how he is. I've had a few clients who just never really had a problem with it. They're rare, but then I've also had many clients who really struggled with it, like you're saying. And so, Dennis, you want to chime in on this one? Because obviously this is a huge area of small business owners, any small business having to keep their personnel in place, you know?
Sure. No, I agree. There is a tech shortage. I mean, it's publicized nationally, and a lot of shops have a hard time finding techs. I've been very lucky. We haven't had too many shortages, but this workshop should give us positive steps that you can take home the next day and put into place. Um, I always look at it from a advantage point of, would I work for me? And those are a lot of the things that we'll try to bring out in this.
That's great. Yeah, that's always a great question. Like, would you be willing to work for yourself? You know, and if the answer is no, then there's some work to do there.
Yeah, and there's specific things that we need to do in hiring, and we'll even have information on legality and that stuff, because there are a lot of things in a hiring process that you do and don't want to do.
Oh, sure. And you want to stay compliant with you know your particular government, like whether it's state or city and also federal. You got to make sure you're in compliance with that.
Mm-hmm.
So how has your hiring been going? Like generally, I mean, you were saying you don't really have much of a problem with it. So has it been generally pretty good for you since you've been with Drive?
Yes. Actually, when I have a position open, usually I fill it in 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes it takes a little longer. And sometimes it's an obvious choice when somebody comes in. And there are other times that we have to go through the whole process and pick and choose. And very rarely do we have anybody that doesn't last. Usually they stay.
Yeah. And then of
If I
course,
add something
yeah,
too, actually, which is part of what we're going to be discussing at length at the Expo workshop is, yes, there is the tech shortage, but there are some indicators as to why or what causes that tech shortage. Many people think it's, lack of skilled technicians. But when you think about the projected number of technicians needed over the next few years, and then sort of like understand where that projected growth is coming from, it might be surprising to most of us, but the growth is not necessarily mostly coming from, people who are not coming through the lines, like getting educated and becoming a technician, but it's mostly coming from, replacement. There are many people leaving and not enough people to replace them at the level of education that people are coming. So
right.
the key point there is what Dennis is saying, and that's a wonderful thing that most people stick around. The retention is a huge thing you could do as a shop owner so that you mitigate that as best as you can. That's your biggest thing in your arsenal to fight that.
Yeah.
Make sure people are sticking around. And maybe Dan can talk about how you do that as shop owners, because that is the biggest thing.
Well, I think it's true, and I'll just get over to Dan in one sec. I think it's true that the easiest way to find a good tech is to not have them leave.
That's true.
100% agree. And I would add too, the time that it takes to onboard a technician or any employee is a time of lost revenue, right? And so, Dennis, I'm sure everybody is jumping for joy when they hear that you can rehire a technician in 2 weeks, because that's a pretty big accomplishment in and itself. However, during that 2 weeks, and then how many weeks does it take to train and onboard that new employee and make them a productive employee? So that's another thing that we have to think about when it comes to the recruiting. And then again, if we can't retain them, how long, we go through that whole process again. And so the more training we can do, the more of these presentations and workshops that we can be a part of, that's the thing is not only knowing how to recruit them, but how to retain them, and also how to get them up to speed like ASAP. And then real quick, just a break from the norm, Mark Granum, Mobile Mark from Florida is watching. I just wanted to send a shout out to him. Thanks for always tuning in, Mark. It's always great to see you.
Yeah, Mark always watches the show, and I love that.
Yeah.
I think we've had him on the show before, and he was a great guest too, by the way.
Yeah. So one thing, I mean, I think, can we give people just like a sneak peek of maybe just like one strategy that attendees might walk away from after seeing the presentation without giving it up? We don't want to give up everything, but can we get one?
Can you repeat that, please, Dan? Do you want to talk about what's in the?
Yeah, I don't want to hear about everything, but maybe just one
Yeah,
point, like one strategy, yeah, that we could bring up, give a little
well,
teaser.
for sure. And I will give a few, at least.
Great.
uh, One of them is that, yes, retention is very, very critical. So is recruiting, but it's a matter of really understanding what recruiting is. And the best thing I can say about that is that recruiting is marketing. So your marketing is not only for new customers. And if you do your marketing right for the new people who are going to come into your shop and like understand that audience from the perspective that you want to, then what that does, because that's the beginning of your funnel when it comes to hiring, right? At the beginning of the hiring workflow, it's the recruitment. And if you recruit the right person as much as you can in the beginning, you have a better chance of retaining that person because it's a better fit, it's a better person to your shop or to your business. So we have to really understand recruitment as a tool of marketing activity and really approach it from that perspective. It's not just, oh, I need a tag. I'm going to go on Indeed and just sort of like say, put out all these qualifications that I'm looking for. And if you're not that, don't even come. Like, yeah, then is that how you talk to your customers? Like, hey, I have this shop, come or don't.
And before you come, this is what I need you to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I
Dennis,
think,
Awesome.
one
yeah.
question for you, Dennis.
Sure.
Do you have a help wanted sign in the front of your shop right now?
I do not. We
You do
always
not.
constantly recruit, but I don't have one up now. We have a full staff, and I still have a few resumes in reserve.
There you go. Yeah. But that's one thing that I've seen work too. That is one of the things that I've heard is if you have a help wanted sign in front of in your shop, then your customers will actually qualify the person before they talk to you about that person. So you're not going to get knuckleheads from your customers because they don't want knuckleheads working on their car.
True.
And we're
Very,
also
very
going to
true.
talk about, Dan, to follow up a little bit more really in that workshop is, yes, you how to do the recruitment actions, starting with the philosophy behind it and actions to take to make it more effective. And also what happens when you do the recruitment actions right, then you have interview. We're going to talk about in this meeting, how to review the resume, how to do phone screening and in-person interviews, some tips and ways to get that more effectively, and how to make an offer. So all these things are going to be part of it so that we're not just letting people hang and just, okay, do that and you're good. No, there are certain ways to get about that, and we're going to supply our audience with tools and systems to make that more effective as well.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to it. Hey, now might be a good time to do a commercial break, Dan. What do you think?
Yeah, I think now's a great time. So this coming Friday, a week from today, on our Drive Facebook Live, we're going to have our very own Jim Saley. He's going to be on the show, and then joining him is going to be Jesus Vargas from C&D Tires and Auto Repair. He's also one of our drive instructors, another phenomenal instructor, and they're going to be talking about really just everything Expo. So everybody knows we got the Expo coming up in Las Vegas this September, and they're going to be talking from start to finish, including our pre-Expo workshop. So 2 days before the Expo, we're going to have some in-person instructor-led workshops that are just going to be phenomenal. I'm instructing one of them. Jesus is doing another as well. So we've got that coming up. So they're going to go over that, all the networking opportunities, all the training opportunities that we're going to have at this year's Expo. I'm going to be there. I think everybody in this room right now is going to be there. And so I'm super excited about it. I'm looking forward to this week's show.
No, that's going to be great. And those pre-Expo master workshops, one of them is going to be Jesus delivering the key to understanding your financial reports, which is a classic master workshop that we've had in our battery of workshops going back decades, but he's delivering it in Spanish. So for the Spanish speaking clients who would prefer to have a workshop delivered in Spanish, you can get, and Jesus is, again, he's a great Spanish speaking instructor as well as English. He does both for me, but it's like really great. And so if you want to do key to understanding your financial reports, because Jesus also happens to be an accountant and he's a CPA. So he owns a shop. And so if you would prefer to have a workshop in Spanish, you can do the key to understanding your financial reports. We also have your workshop is the AI workshop, correct? You're going to do a whole entire workshop on how to handle AI in your shop.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
Larry Monroe is going to be delivering something called Control the Chaos, which is a workshop on the day-to-day activities of an operational owner. And then Mark Bagg will be delivering a workshop, parts department profit. It's how to really manage your part. It's basically the essentials of how to run a parts department in your shop to make it profitable. And that's the other master workshop. Those three are brand new. They're all new. No, we haven't delivered them before. And those are the three and four total that are going to happen Tuesday and Wednesday prior to the start of the expo on Thursday. So there you go.
Yeah, thanks for elaborating. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's going to be really fantastic. Looks like Cole Service Center is also logged in and watching. I'm assuming that's Deanna, but it could be a member of her team. So thanks for logging in and supporting us. We're glad you're here.
Very cool.
Yeah. So any other key points, Dennis or Erkan, that you wanted to bring up? Any other little sneak peeks?
One point that I found is we all promote to our customers. When we are trying to hire someone, we need to promote to them and realize that they are interviewing us just as much as we're interviewing them.
That's right. That's
So-
really important to have that perspective. And the other thing too is like Erkan was saying, every rule that applies to good marketing to market to customers are the exact same rules that you use to market to recruit employees. The only distinction is one is the audience of customers and the other is the audience of potential employees. And so the language has to be slightly different so you know who you're communicating to. But all of the same laws and rules that apply to great marketing apply. And I'm sure you guys are going to be going over some of that during how those specific rules and activities that you do to make those laws of marketing work. And I'm looking forward to that as well. So I wanted to ask you guys a little bit about not just the presentation, but also about your feelings about the expo itself. Like, I'm actually getting pretty excited about the expo. I always get excited right about now is the time I start getting like really kind of excited about the whole thing because we're getting close. But I love the expo. It's one of my favorite things to do every year. I get to see a lot of good lifelong friends, people I've known for 7, 8 years. And so I'm excited about the expo in general. Do you guys have any thoughts about that?
Oh, yeah, I thoroughly enjoy the expo. I like going every year. It's great to see the people that you haven't seen in a long time, or at least not on a screen. Get to see them in person and really go out, have a good time, learn, and just continue friendships.
That's awesome. And then, and what about you, Erkan? I know that I always enjoy going to the expo when you're there because we always manage to carve out a little bit of time to have a nice dinner somewhere and spend some time together, which I always enjoy. But what else do you like about the expo?
Yes. So I think, again, seeing personally colleagues all together that I don't get to see much is great. And getting to meet many people that we work with, and also seeing shop owners do better and be acknowledged for that and share their feelings about it is a really, really great way. And also for me, being on the beginning end of the client cycle here at Drive, like most of the shops that come into the program last 2-3 years have been through my team and our presentations, at least in part of the whole beginning funnel, and seeing them succeed and do well and there is really a great way to sort of show me why I am here and why I do what I do and why I kind of wake up every morning, right?
Mhm.
Is that part of like being of use? Uh, and yeah, it's great. I think anybody who's involved with Drive at any capacity should try to make it to the expo for their own sake because it's a great culture. We do have a great culture, including obviously the clients. So yeah, I think it's wonderful. Yeah, definitely come, dude. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah. And one of the things that we've always noticed with the expo is that when clients come to it, they get rejuvenated. It's almost like a rehabilitation of like really having a strong desire to go out and go out. They just become kind of a little gung ho about it. You know what I mean? And it really kind of, it's almost like filling your gas tank back up again, you know? Is that something that you've
Actually, it's
experienced?
funny you say that because one of my clients used to say exactly that, filling the gas tank. He did say exactly that a few times, like, Baki. So I hope to see him again. I don't coach him anymore, but yeah, he did use exactly the same phrase.
That's great. That's really great. I probably got it from him. But yeah, it just juices you back up again. And is that an experience that you've had, Dennis, with going to expos where you
Oh,
get
absolutely.
rejuvenated? Yeah.
Yeah, you take a course, you read a book, you do whatever, and you say, yeah, you put it off. I'll get to that. And you go to the expo and go, oh, I need to pick that back up and let's get to working again. And gee, that fell out of place. Let's put that policy back into place and make it work right. So it does rejuvenate you. And it's also very rewarding to see some of the new people coming up and have some of the people that have been on the program a while show them that it really is possible.
Yeah.
They can get what they want.
Yeah. That's one of the things I love about it too, is that people who are new to the program who have hope, and hope is important. They have hope, but they don't know for sure. They just have to have put a little faith in something they're not totally that aware of or how it works, and then they get to rub elbows with a bunch of people who have worked drive and have really successful shops and are just kind of living the dream, and they can talk to them face to face, and it's not like they're in a pitch. They're just having a conversation with, and then they become friends with these people, and these people become mentors, and they know when you can see that something can really happen, then it makes it so much more real for the person that has to go make it happen for themselves. And is that an experience that you've had, Dan?
Yeah, yeah. I have to say, from the very first expo that I went to, the vibe and the feel was just shop owners that truly were just kind of like selfless and really wanted to just give to other shop owners and help them and, help them to work through any challenges that they might have. And I was really, I don't want to say surprised, but it was a great feeling to see the hearts of all these shop owners. And I thought, what a great group. And it really kind of reinforced my decision to sign up with Drive as a client that very first expo, because I was like, this is a room of very smart people, but none of them are arrogant and none of them are wanting to hoard the information. Everybody wants to give. Everybody has a heart and a vibe of giving. And I was really impressed by that. And yeah, that is rejuvenating, right? Especially, over the course of a year, you can get beat down by customers, you can get beat down by recruiting, you can get beat down by taxes, whatever it is, right? And then you have this room full of people who are positive and we're all helping each other. I mean, yeah, it's a great experience and I look forward to it every year. I definitely wouldn't miss it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really great to hear. And one of the things I also love too about it is we always have a great awards dinner, and the dinner is always wonderful, and a lot of people who have achieved really important milestones in their journey with their business get to share their experiences with the rest of us. And sometimes it's touching. It's like I've been brought to tears during awards dinners with what people have overcome and what condition they were in, like in their life and with their family and with their shop, and how they got it to where they are now and what they're doing. And it's touching. Like Dennis has been up on the stage because you're a master of shop management, correct? Is that your certification?
Master Elite now.
Master Elite now. You got that last year? Was that when you got Master Elite? Okay. So he's been on stage a couple times, and that's just wonderful. So to hear from you, and then also oh, and what is your certification level, Dan? You might as well brag a little too.
Yeah, I'm also a Master Elite. Yes, I went up 1 year for Master and then the following year for Master Elite.
Beautiful, beautiful. So that is really great. And that's just, you know, another, it's really just an acknowledgement of the work that you guys have done. That's the real key to our award show. It's not about giving people a trophy so they feel good about themselves. It's about them having achieved something fundamental and real, and then being acknowledged by the group for doing something great. You know, and you get that acknowledgement, and it's just great, and it's such a wonderful time. And then of course we also have Saturday, I think it's going to be Saturday night, we have the banger party. We always throw legendary parties at our expos, and so
That's right.
you know, this year the theme is going to be, you know, wear your colors. We're going to have, it's all about sports and your favorite sports teams, and we're all going to be dressed in, you know, our jerseys and such. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome.
So
Awesome. Well, hey,
other
Tony,
thoughts?
go ahead. Sorry, Erkan, you were saying?
No, I was just saying I'm definitely looking forward to it for sure. It's always great.
Yep. And you were going to
Good,
say,
good.
Dan?
Yeah, I wanted to say, or actually ask, you know, Dennis and Erkan, so what's one thing that shop owners can do leading up to the expo, right? So before they listen to your presentation, if you were to give them one piece of advice of something they could do now to start preparing for the recruitment process, what would you say? What would you offer them?
I think this the foundational question is to be better prepared is would you work for me? You know, really like try to ask that question to yourself as a shop owner, and then you know really think about hard about the answer to that, and then if it's a yes, list out why the yes, and if it's maybe, then yes and no's, and if it's a no, what the no's are. So at least everything starts with some sort of awareness, because I can guarantee you, when you come to the expo and listen to myself and Dennis talk about how you can survive the tech shortage, you're going to get some solid, specific instructions about, you know, achieving that a little bit better than you've been doing before. So, but everything starts with awareness. Be aware as to, would I work for myself? Yes. Why? No. Why not? And that would be a good table stakes.
That's
Very
great.
good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Dennis,
Assess your business, look at your hiring and all of your practices and your policies. And if you find you're having difficulty somewhere, look into it and try to see why.
Perfect.
And then
beautiful.
come with questions.
Mhm.
Very,
Good,
very
good.
cool. Very, very cool.
I want to make one point too that Erkan said he kind of opened up with what you can do to prepare. And what I've found as a shop owner and also through instructing the Building Your Dream Team workshop, the time to prepare is not when you need a technician. That's too late at that point, right? Because all of us who are shop owners and business owners, we know when you're down a team member, all of a sudden you're jumping in and you might be filling that role, or you're running around even more so like a chicken with the head cut off kind of thing, right? When you're down a person or two people. So the more training you can do in advance and the more prepared you can be for that situation, you know, again, you don't want to be sitting down writing your job ad at the time that you desperately need a technician. If you can have some of that preparation done in advance, it's going to make that whole situation much less stressful. Would you guys agree?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And not
So
only would I agree with that, most people that will come to the class may be owners, but if anyone else in your organization, managers, if they are doing the interviewing and the hiring, they need trained too to do it right.
yeah,
True.
good point. Good
Very
point.
true.
Hey, we're up against it, guys. We actually made it through the whole half hour already. It goes so quick.
Gosh,
Goes so
flew
quick.
by.
So does anybody have any final thoughts before we call it a day?
Oh, come to the workshop at the expo. You're going to get a lot of learning about, you know, hiring, recruiting, retaining. So will be absolutely worth your time. And in fact, that's one of the best things you could do for yourselves if you're having tech shortage.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And Dennis, anything else?
No, come to the expo, learn as much as you can, and have as much fun as you can.
Very cool. Any other thoughts, Dan, before we call it a day?
I don't think I could end it any better than that. Great stuff, you guys. Thanks a
I
lot for being here.
totally get it. So, I want to thank everyone for being with us today, and we will see all of you next Friday.